you assholes.
All right.
You assholes.
And put your life force into a sock, yeah, you deserve to be publicly executed. Yes. What are we talking about? You. What the?
Hey, bro.
What the fuck, bro? And put your life force into a sock.
Is he okay? I hope he's okay. Bob, is he okay? Ryan, you think he's okay?
Let me text him real fast.
What's that guy's name? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Kind of alludes to what that guy just did to him a little bit. You know, Sneeko.
The Sneeko attack.
So he's literally, if he's literally, listen to what he's saying. He's literally calling for public executions of anybody who masturbates.
Yeah, you deserve to be publicly executed. Yes. And put your life force into a sock. Yeah, you deserve to be publicly executed. Yes.
Oh God, that's what he means. God damn. I heard that. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Your life force.
Yeah, I don't usually honestly think of that as my life force. As my life.
Have you guys watched that Louis Theroux documentary on Netflix about the Manosphere?
No.
I've only seen clips of it. I've only seen.
Well, like I watched it, and I think the last person that he goes to visit before he goes back to the first guy that then kind of ends the whole thing with a bookend. But before that is Sneeko, and I was actually watching it thinking, man, this is kind of surprising that he really just seems to walk around New York City without like an entourage. He just walks out randomly. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys, I don't think they do that, and for some reason, he just feels like he can. And so far, it seems to have worked out all right for him. But maybe he'll rethink that now. Which is unfortunate, you know. Is Louis Theroux investigates the Manosphere? I don't know. It's, you know, let's look Manosphere on Netflix. It's the only thing probably. Louis Theroux, one of those. It's pretty good, but it's not great. I'll be honest. It's not. It could have been a lot more. It's really like for folks like us. I imagine you wouldn't glean a lot from it that you don't already know. I mean, I got a little bit of like more understanding, deeper understanding, slightly of like how they grift basically. Like I didn't know that they do this the detail with which they do this multi-level marketing shit where you become a follower of them. They all follow the Andrew Tate formula now, where it's like you become a follower of them. You get to follow them on whatever social media, then they'll put out a link to like their Signal or whatever the hell chat, and you follow them in that, but you got to pay to do that or something, and then you got to pay to join whatever secret they're putting out secrets for how to get rich and get women and stuff, and this other thing that you have to pay to get into. It's just, you know, it's a scam.
Oh yeah.
And meanwhile, they're like there's one dude in there that he talks to quite a bit in the movie where HS Tiki Taki, I don't even know who that is, but he is like judging people for being into porn and stuff, and he's like judging women who do porn and stuff, like, you know, OnlyFans models, and yet he runs a company that runs a bunch of OnlyFans models.
All right, so you know? real quick to go back to what we were talking to, it's simply called Louis Theroux Inside the Manosphere.
There you go. So, anyway, you know, I hope Sneeko doesn't get better, but
no, he's a great guy.
He's a good guy. Yeah, you know, it's a special occasion, guys. We don't get to on
New Comic Book Day.
That's it.
Yes.
It's not often that it's like very clearly the actual likely end of a grifter's career. I mean, you know, the quartering's been kind of on the decline for quite some time. But you know, we've covered that. Eric DeBunks has covered that. Everybody's covered it. It's old hat at this point. But I want to show you guys this. I'm sure some of you heard something about this, probably. I don't know. If you go to YouTube and type in the quartering, this is what you see. A whole bunch of videos saying it's over. He's done. It's over. And these, if you may notice, these are generally, most of these are chuds, except for Ant. He's not a chud, I don't think. I haven't talked to him in a couple of days. Maybe he's changed. No, but these are like a lot of chuds covering him being over and whatnot. You know, that's
Mhm.
kind of crazy. Well, then there's a bunch of quartering too.
I mean,
That's
it's worth noting they do eat their own quite quickly.
I mean,
Mhm.
I've never seen them go after one of the large original, like the fucking Mount Rushmore of anti-fan chuds. I feel like the quartering's head would be on there, don't you?
Yeah.
I've never seen him kind of just turn on one like this before, but I've never seen one of them do something like this before. The shit that he's apparently doing or done. So we'll get into that. I'm gonna look at some video about that thing. Here's this. I found was pretty interesting.
Want to be Jordan Peters, aren't we?
Now we got
By the way, is he a good year or a baddie? I'm not quite sure.
Well, okay, well,
I just see little flashes of him and I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered finding out.
I don't want to stereotype, generalise, but some men
Right.
who think actually he's got something decent to say.
Got you.
So what will happen is on this podcast we might say something like, that sounds like the sort of shit Jordan Peterson would say.
Right.
And then we'll get a comment like, how? Well, what I'd love you to do is actually specify what it is specifically you've got a problem with. Because actually what I think you'll find is he's talking a lot of sense. That's where we're at with him. And actually, weirdly, we're kind of like that with Andrew Tate as well. I know. Sometimes, if you would think it's a safe. That's a safe guy to diss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And for the record, I think he's a right, but people are just like really like I can't. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Do you know what I mean?
There's something, regardless of the things that he eschews and his opinions and all that kind of stuff, the seriousness and the anger with which he delivers everything. It's just like, oh man, it must be really hard being you. Must be difficult.
It's that combination of like, he talks about smoking cigars and like being by the pool and all these women and having a sports car. And despite all of that, he doesn't look like any fun to hang out with at all.
I know.
You just think that would be the most intense, horrible evening you could ever have.
Okay, Ryan, I didn't understand a word they said. Can you translate for us?
Yeah.
These subtitles for you Americans.
No, I understood. That's just I was like kind of blown away that's just James McAvoy sitting there commenting on shit like that. I wasn't expecting it. So
I mean, it strikes me like in his head, like he's seen enough of them that like they're not even noteworthy to take seriously in any way. Anyway.
Well, I mean, at least look, he's wise enough to know that there are goodies and baddies on there on the internet, right? So you may not know which one Jordan Peterson is because he's probably a pretty busy guy, but he's like, which one is he? I know that he's one of them. Ramesh is a funny guy. I've never seen him, never heard him before.
He's massive over here. He presents like a dozen TV shows and he's got his own podcast. And I think what happens is a lot of these comedians go into podcasting, and as soon as their stuff goes on YouTube, they start getting flooded by the kind of people that hang out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Kind and respectful people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then one more quick thing that I wanted to, share before we move on to something more substantive, I guess. So you know how Guy Fieri, generally, I feel like I agree with the videos that came out, I guess, a couple of years ago that started kind of saying, hey, what's the deal with the hate for Guy Fieri? Like, what's he actually done to anybody? You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, I really don't know of anything. He just kind of looks like a douche. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't. What's he done? Well,
he definitely has the vibe, but yeah, I don't know.
Needed a refresher on Guy Fieri. Here he is with two men charged with rape and sex trafficking, that being Andrew and Tristan Tate. Moreover, being a UFC fan in 2026 must be a battle that one simply cannot win. Look at who they host. Look at who they celebrate. Because of the chummy relationship Fieri showcased for the cameras with the Tate bros, a diabolical pairing who have been arrested before and allegedly needed the Trump family to get them out of a jam, the television host is facing a boycott. By the way, never, and I mean never.
So yeah, Guy Fieri is he's, I guess, into that manosphere shit, which makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be prejudiced based on his appearance, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to assume, look, just because you look exactly like the dictionary definition of a complete douchebag, I didn't want to assume that he really was.
But yeah, sometimes people look like douchebags, but they aren't douchebags, and then sometimes they are. Sometimes.
Rick Strom, good dude, does a lot of good content on. He's really the only content on the Young Turks that I watch anymore ever. So, but But yeah, what you guys
God,
been
they're
up to?
disappointing. They're disappointing.
Reading anything, seeing anything, watching anything good lately?
Just finished watching Young Sherlock. That was a solid season.
Really?
I'm all caught up with Daredevil, Born Again, and The Boys, which thank God they aren't political, because it's nice they can
Right.
break
Yeah, I
the
really needed to
politics,
escape from all the politics. So.
No, I really appreciate how they're just well, I think especially Daredevil, because Boys has always been head down that political rabbit hole, but Daredevil, I feel like stumbled into it and just said, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Yeah.
Well, I think the comment I saw about Daredevil is that you've got all these people saying that, like, oh, this is obviously being Kingpin's obviously supposed to be Trump. And it's like, if the worst villain in the show or in many Marvel TV shows is the guy you identify with Trump, that's very much a you problem.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like Trump at all. I think that Fisk is actually a very effective liar and deceiver, manipulator. He's got the entire city there. He's got the clips of people be like, he's great, mayor. New York's doing great. Everything's better, because like his fascism is actually effective. So in the same way that like the superhero fantasy aspect of like is like a wish fulfillment fantasy. See, the Fisk side of it is also like fascist wish fulfillment. Like they wish they could have their fascist being more effective and not just like being a pedophile.
I mean, it's also dealing with Star Trek. Like there's so many anti-fascist storylines in there, but there's not that many that deal with a fascist like Trump, because everybody kind of assumes the villain's going to be a lot smarter than that. Lot less thin-skinned.
I thought it was hilarious, amazing satire, but I realized I was just accidentally watching the TPUSA halftime show. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Well, that's the thing, though. This happens every time. They did it with Andor as well. Oh, this is a bit too modern day, isn't it? No, what they're doing is they're doing classic representations of fascism. And the fact that you can easily map that on to what's happening today, as a fan of all that, maybe stop and reflect on that.
Yes.
I mean, it's the same problem they have with anything else, is that they literally can't think outside or see outside of like the surface level of anything. They can't apply any actual context to anything. Hey, I said that thing that my channel used to be. They can't apply anything to anything. So like everything is just in the moment and what they believe it obviously. And it's like, no, the problem with them in media in general is that they don't see how the history of things is played out and why things are not unprecedented the way that they act like they are with in terms of politics and social messaging and stuff like that. But it's all new to them. They're like little fucking babies that are just stumbling into the world for the first time.
Real quick, I want to reply to Noah real fast. I'm pretty sure the actor is pro ceasefire. And the thing to keep in mind about serving in Israel is that all Israeli citizens are required to serve.
That seems like, honestly, that strikes me as just like I hate to say it, but virtue signaling kind of a uptake opinion, because like, so I mean, there's lots, like you said, everybody in Israel I think has to serve a few years, and that doesn't, I mean, if you want to judge those people for happening to be born there, most of them, then as the same way as the government that's literally doing the evil shit, then okay, but
yeah, it's kind
of not watching just the scenes with Frenchie, and you might as well just not watch the show, because that's what seems ridiculous to me. So,
but yeah, the actor seems like a reasonable dude in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, it's possible to be Israeli and be reasonable. In fact, I'd say that's significant if you're reasonable and being kind of indoctrinated in that culture and still are reasonable at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, does he still live there? Because that's big.
I don't think so. No, I'm pretty sure he moved to the United States.
And you're telling me he's not French? Holy shit!
What?
Yeah, The Boys is pretty good so far. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. I think it's probably going to wrap up a pretty good series.
Yeah. I feel like this season, at least the first 2 episodes, I guess probably the third one comes out pretty soon if it's not out already. But it's kind of like almost returned to form. I'm liking it more than the past couple of seasons, even though I thought the past couple of seasons were totally decent. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think with this one, they definitely, the first couple of episodes anyway, they're making sure to say, we're not fucking around. This is the final season. We're doing some shit. There was a little bit of, I guess I could say a little bit of plot armor. Yeah, we might get in little spoilers for The Boys.
Yeah.
New season. A little bit of plot armor there in the breakout scene, I feel like, but
I mean, I feel like they handle A-Train extremely well. So yeah.
that was I mean, big spoiler coming right here. I thought that was an excellent death for A-Train.
Yeah, he goes out like a fucking boss, and they actually show that he has evolved as a character.
He like actually stumbled and fell because he was avoiding an innocent woman.
Yeah,
which is how we were introduced to the character. You know, obviously was killing an innocent woman. So yeah, he despite the fact that he was literally running for his life, he chose to not just plow through that woman. That was so. Yeah,
a situation that's far more forgivable than just being fucking high off your ass.
Yeah. I forgot he was high too. I watched like almost all of the 15-minute manhandled podcast episode with the Deep and Black Noir.
Oh God, they actually did that.
So 15.
Oh God, that's hilarious. I just the clips. I think it's hilarious to seeing the Deep to talk about being a Sigma male and shit. It's like, oh my God.
Well, then, like, I imagine they're not really going to follow up on it in the show itself, but like, it was cool that he talked about they're followed up on the whole the fake Scientology religion that he joined whatever season ago.
Oh yeah,
like that the lady that runs that got busted or something like that, so he was talking shit on that, and that was pretty funny. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I imagine there's too much going on this season to really address that in the actual show, but that was fun.
Maybe they have a way to use that to conclude the Deep storyline, because I can't imagine his storyline is concluding in any way that isn't just the most pathetic thing we've ever seen.
Are you talking about with the speaking of pathetic, the Homelander's talking to him? Because like, Jesus Christ, man, he is. I mean, he's been losing it steadily through the whole series, but like, they're definitely they're ratcheting it up right now. And it makes and it obviously is a parallel with Trump, I feel like, because it seems like Trump, the more he's in power, he's the guy, he's got all the power, he can do basically whatever, and yet he seems to be kind of losing his shit and his brains are leaking out of his ass.
Listen, we just need to lock up anybody who likes posts that are negative to me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Starlight's gonna have to do something to him, right?
I imagine. I mean, I think she really gets has to get the comeuppance on him, considering the event of episode 1.
Yeah. Feel like
we'll spoil season 5, but we aren't going to spoil season 1, mostly because I just don't want to talk about that event because it was fucking gross. It was fucking.
Yeah. Right. Well, I guess. So what do you want to do first? We want to do. Which pathetic grifter loser do we want to cover first? Eric July or Jeremy Hambley?
Let's do July first. I feel
it's gonna be pretty quick.
I mean, our whole channels are based around hating Eric.
That's
July,
all we built everything we have on him.
The dude that I didn't even hear about until years in my YouTube career. Yeah, my whole channel is based around hating him.
Well,
there are posts going around saying that Comics Explained stated explicitly that he's not going to cover the Rippaverse. And if you don't know who that is, he's one of the biggest comic book YouTubers. Now, I want to start by saying this. Nobody is obligated to cover the Rippaverse.
Right, fine. Statement over. That's all you need to say.
Like, this is 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and he wastes time saying that. I mean, that's the most obvious shit in the world. Like, I mean, maybe if his audience is just a bunch of fucking morons, which of course they are. But
there are comic books, lots of comic books that are a lot bigger than fucking Rippaverse. Out of curiosity, what is he covering? Like, he's probably busy with Absolute Batman or something, because those comic books are fucking huge.
Ernie did a video not long ago. I guess somebody had accused him of not supporting black indie comics or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't support." And he just started like naming off comics in his hands that he's supported. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's so many of them, and generally most of them seemed, I mean, all of them seemed far more interesting than the Rippaverse, but most of them seemed like I might actually, maybe I'll pick that up if I see it or get a chance or whatever. And it's like, the Eric July's audience, I imagine most of them think that he has got the entire black comic creator game on lockdown. You know what I mean? The way that they would come at it. I'm sure you got that stuff too in your comments, like, oh, you just don't want to see a black comic creator succeed. It's
yeah.
Like, about.
Eric July is not the only black comic creator, guys.
Lots of them are succeeding. He's grifting.
To be honest, when I first saw that story about that warehouse that had been burnt down, before I realized it was in Canada, I thought, oh, Eric, is that one of your employees?
What? Oh, shit. You're right. No, yeah, I went to go shave my head one last time for the summer because my son wants me to grow my hair out again. And then I realized, because I got new hair clippers, and I didn't recognize before I started using it that I didn't have the guard on it. So I was just done like a 1 or a 2, and instead it's just like, oh no, I got to go all the way now. So
yeah, I've made that mistake before.
No. What?
I've made that mistake before of not checking which blade was on there, taking a little too much on.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've done that before too, and usually it's just because you do something minor you don't think about, like before you pick up the razor, and then you're like, hey. You know, and then you just go to start shaving normally. And you're like, oh shit.
What? So this is a good point. I mean, yes, like I right. Why is he not even in his literal studio that it was made to, you know?
Yeah.
Promote this crap. It seems like the last couple of videos I've seen of him, not that I watch all of them or anything, but last couple I've seen, he wasn't there.
I mean, he's some way significant because he's got all his tech stuff behind him. So it's
That's
not
true.
like he's.
Did he lose his studio?
Ooh.
I assumed it was just a room in his house, to be honest.
I might have to look at his channel real quick and see. I mean, it looks like a room in his house. Yeah, he's got some of the Target art, but I mean, he's always had Target art. Like even before he had the Rippaverse stuff, he had like the most generic crap that you can buy from Walmart that had like Marvel and DC branding on it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt and say he's in a hotel room.
Could be. That could be.
Which would explain the generic ass art. Of course, he could also have no taste.
Yeah, where's Thomas Sowell, man? He looks not like him. Are you okay, Eric?
I think he went out to buy some art that represented his Texas origins and didn't realize that the cow behind him is a Highland cow, not a Texas Longhorn.
But that's his origins.
I do think it's very interesting. Next to the pictures, though, is some pampas grass. Now, anybody who knows anything about 70s culture will know what the significance of pampas grass is, which might relate to our topic coming up.
I don't know, but
when swinging became sort of the key parties, the way the two ways you would signify that you were a swinger would either be to plant pampas grass in your garden or to have upside down pineapples outside your house.
So are we confirming here now on the SHILLCAST that Eric July is also engaged in swinging, seemingly?
The evidence is there. The evidence is there.
But real quick, I have Comics Explained channel pulled up, and just give you an idea of what he covers: Absolute Batman, Doctor Doom. I'm not sure about Powerless Man Dominates Superheroes, so that could be anything. But Punisher, Marvel, looks like Carnage, Batman. Some webtoon, looks like maybe Black Panther, Daredevil, X-Men, Antagonist, which he got in some heat for, Spider-Man, Absolute Superman, Ghost Rider. No, and if you don't know the full drama, Antagonist is one of the few indie comics he's actually covering, and the guy who writes it is a giant piece of shit.
But he's a big MAGA shitbag. Yes.
But like 99% of what he covers on here are Marvel, DC.
Well, no, though the Rippaverse is competing with Marvel and DC.
So I feel
That's
like
true.
all that. Thank you for the context, Bob, because I feel like that's important to understand how kind of weird and unnecessary, but also seemingly due to his ego necessary it was for him to make this video.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm not even mad. You know, he's not obligated or nothing like that. It's like, really, he's thinking, what's wrong with me? You know, he would remove that other guy, but he doesn't even like the Rippaverse. Yeah, that's how bad it is, man. It gets around. It doesn't have anything to do with him as his politics. You know, that is completely aside. I legitimately, and I know you did too, Bob, read that comic the same way you read any comic. Like, if it's good, I'm gonna say what I think about it. And it was, And I'll say this: I think there might be some larger coverage of that Isom shit coming pretty soon. Maybe I won't say who, but
but yeah, this is almost all Marvel DC, like solidly.
Oddly enough, I sort of defended him when a different YouTuber was upset at him for not covering the comics that he wanted him to. Because to me, one of the cringiest things.
And this is him seeing his name was mentioned, and really that's what it is. And I'm sure there's some hurt feelings crossed up in there, but like he is just going to use it to, promote Rippaverse and act like he's not upset about the drama, even though he's inserting himself into it because, algorithm. Let's not forget that they just recently started selling their comics digitally, which they'd apparently sworn not to do originally. He wasn't planning on doing, I don't think. Now, presumably because enough people were pirating them, he started selling them digitally, thinking he could undercut that. But
on the internet is individual creators trying to dictate what others should do with their platforms. Now, anytime that I've mentioned folks not covering the Rippaverse, it's really to just prove a point. And this proves that point. Look, guys, this is just how the Rippaverse is handled by the broader comic book space with
why is that?
Exclusion. But I do want to be clear about something. Most people in this space have.
He's going to be clear about one thing, but not why it is that people don't like to talk about the Rippaverse, except for negatively.
Have no idea what my actual positions are. They probably know that I'm not a leftist.
I think that all of us here know exactly what your positions are, or at least what you state they are whenever except for whenever they're different and contradict other times that you've said other things.
Yeah. Except when I try to point out what your fucking political positions are, and in which case you're just all over the fucking board.
Who's Ron? Rob. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's that. I mean, we covered kind of part of that, but like this, we're not. This is kind of this is an appetizer. You know what I'm saying?
And they probably know that I'm cordial with creators that they don't like. They might remember that back when I was like primarily doing the YouTube thing, I would on occasion point to like some of the social messaging in modern comics, or
on occasion.
I mean,
that was his chance.
Once or twice, maybe in passing, not devoting his entire.
I don't remember him ever doing that.
I do want to point out. I think that when I first covered him, like I looked up his most popular video, and I think it was a video where he ranted about how terrible the new CW Supergirl is. Which I don't know if he's done this, but lots of the chuds seem to be acting like, oh, that was the good Supergirl and the new one's bad.
I thought that his most popular video was the one where he did the Dougie.
The Dougie?
Yeah, where he did a dance. He did a dance. This is like a long time ago. He did a dance, and
maybe.
Pretty sure that went viral, and that was like what made him think that he had something to offer to people.
Well, maybe though he's talking about his very early videos when he was praising characters like Miles Morales before he found out it was more financially viable to.
Well, hey, before he got hired, he got a new job. He had to change his positions when he joined the Blaze. Meanwhile, his boss, I'm assuming he still works at Blaze. His boss is straight up covering for pedophile ring, global pedophile ring, and his boss is just like downplaying the shit out of it. He doesn't think it's real. So cool.
So his most popular video is the Dougie video. You are correct. His second most popular is the Supergirl video, and his third most popular, his review of Captain Marvel.
You've been Bob.
No.
Can we start calling them Chud Bloods? I don't know why. All right. This is almost over, basically. So
call out tokenization. Now, somehow they skipped over all of those positive reviews, but that's it. Those are my great sins. And I wasn't out there being extreme. I was a comic book fan who had opinions about comic books. But let's be honest. Comics Explained has covered books by creators who are politically outspoken. Vida Ayala, for example, isn't exactly apolitical. He's had no problem covering her, or rather her books. And to be fair to him, he's primarily covered the mainstream, so you can't really.
So he's talking about Vida Ayala, who is when most people's awareness of Vida Ayala they might be aware of her. Their political positions via social media, but reading the comics, you would just generally get the vibe that maybe they're not exclusive of LGBTQ people or something like that, or that they write pretty good comics. You know what I mean? Whereas like Eric July, if people know who he is, they don't know who he is first because of his comic book skills. You know what I mean? They don't know. Most people don't know him at all because of that, even if they wrote.
Well, I was going to say not even that. I think the real reason that Comics Explained doesn't cover him is because his comics are bad and nobody's heard of them.
Yeah. Like he would have to sink a decent amount of his day just to get through one. They're like 100-page comic books that are just boring dreck. Just it's a chore. And we've all read bad comic books, but most bad comic books you pick up, and at least you're done in 20 pages.
Yeah, they don't make you read for fucking 96 grueling pages.
To see if there's
I see. Yeah, no, I absolutely reject anything that positively inserts Harry Potter anything into the discourse. And fuck that. Rejected.
Mm-hmm. Expect him to cover the Rippaverse, as that would be slightly a pivot. Now, I want to be respectful because I genuinely don't think this is about one single person. This is about a culture where acknowledging the Rippaverse is treated as a risk, where giving us a fair shake could get you attacked by the very audience that you...
Wait. Comics Explained has no problem acknowledging him. He did it. Like he saw a chat and he just said, yeah, I'm not going to cover that. He has no problem acknowledging it. Like this is just bullshit he's making up here.
It's straight up bullshit. Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Rip Jasmine. Like somebody needs to do a comic that follows up on Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? If somebody did that, that'd be pretty amazing. Maybe I will.
Cultivated. And I understand that. I'm not mad at the individual. I'm just pointing out this system. We've sold several 100,000 books across multiple titles from multiple creative teams, whether you like us or not. We are one of, if not the biggest independent new publisher of the last 5 years.
Bullshit. I call straight up bullshit. That's fucking complete and utter bullshit. That's just not true. Even if he did have the biggest year of any independent publisher the first year, that's not the case after that. He definitely did not, and increasingly so, or decreasingly had good years. So that's just, man, it's so fucking pathetic that he still feels like he can portray this as being a successful venture. Fuck him, fuck him.
Yeah. I mean, it's also worth noting, like his comic books are long, they're boring, and they're $35 each.
So, and what he's talking about too, he probably, look, if he's talking about the money made, he might be right actually, because I remember now. It's been a while since I'm dusting off the cobwebs of the Chud grift here. And his thing is that he likes to conflate, sales, like as in monetary sales, with units sold, and he pretends like he sold the same number of units as other, whatever, and he just doesn't. He hasn't. He's made a lot of money because he, makes 100-page garbage and sells that for, $40-50, and then uses the early 90s fucking sales gimmicks to try and to literally goose up sales, and includes his merch sales along with the comic book sales. So there's no way to know how much he actually sells in comic books, really, unless you, I guess, do the math. But who wants to fucking waste that much time?
He did put a lot of qualifiers
to even break down the math.
He did put a lot of qualifiers in there. Probably the biggest new indie comic company in the last 5 years. So,
well, him and Comicsgate, they all depend on like, I will see people like whenever they were having their war back and forth, people were like, oh, the entire independent comic book scene's at war, and it's like, no, independent comics don't even know that y'all are doing this over here. They're probably trying to avoid you so they can work on actual comic books. You know what I mean? Y'all are over here doing content for algorithm's sake. And
the only way they talk about us is to delegitimize us, to say that everything we produce is the worst thing ever, despite the fact that, again, we have varying titles from varying creators with varying styles.
The stuff
And
that
they're
I've
all
read is
pretty
not,
fucking bad that I've read. I'm all
it's
pretty...
not the worst thing that I've ever read. You know, I will say that there is more. There's some issues, but like, you know, I was recently reading some old 90s shit that I first got into comics on. If you got into comics in that era and you haven't gone back and read those comics lately, some of them are pretty good. You know, the Claremont stuff mostly holds up.
Yeah.
But like Rob Liefeld shit, Todd McFarlane shit, it's not very good.
Todd
Fucking...
Rob Liefeld shit was kind of shit, but Todd McFarlane was, I thought his stories were always entertaining, but then as soon as the story wraps up and you put it down, you're like, the fuck was the point of that? Like, there's not like, it's just is like looking cool stuff, and that's about it. Like,
I was reading his the famous his first run on Spider-Man that was just him on art and writing, called Torment. And it starts off and it's like New York. It's like you're reading Batman written by an edgy 12-year-old or something. He's like, you know, New York City, the scum in the street below. And it's like, really? Spider-Man's talking about scum in the street? I don't think that's really Spider-Man.
And Spawn, let's be real, Spawn was always a much cooler concept than it was actual execution wise. I love the concept of Spawn, even though it is very Ghost Rider-ish. But the books have never thrilled me. Good art. I mean, I do like him as an artist, but
I mean,
as a writer,
for starting Image, and it's now one of the best. I mean, if you want to talk about a publisher that has a vast, wide array of various comic books, it's really putting to use the comics medium in every possible way they can. That's Image. They do that.
Yeah.
This is also why I've never understood when people say things like, well, the Rippaverse is irrelevant because certain corners of the internet don't talk about us. Think about what those corners actually are. What, Reddit forums that ban you for speaking?
No. Is he talking about us from the times that we went and looked at his Reddit, his subreddit, where there's like one guy keeping it alive?
Yeah, it was pretty pathetic.
Positively.
I think about Alpha Core, it sucks.
Yeah,
it's not as bad as ISOM, but it's bad, and
it is a more competent comic book because it's literally Chuck Dixon. I mean, I read his QAnon comic book, the first 2 issues of it anyway, and it's pretty entertaining, I'd say. I mean, it's not like something I would love to read or buy, you know, but like I was reading, I was like, I'm surprised this is actually kind of fun to follow for a quick read. But of course, knowing the whole time that it is about QAnon and it's like pushing that narrative, it's like, ugh.
It is cringe, it is gross, and infinitely more entertaining than Eric July.
Yeah, I heard that. I haven't read ISOM 3. I've heard ISOM 3 actually was somehow better. Have you read it?
No. I got to.
Is that the one?
I'm done. Hang on.
Is that the one where his Jesus powers are revealed?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, do we get the origin of his dick cross?
Yeah.
Yeah, his powers come directly from being a descendant of Jesus.
Yep. Of Jesus. So that's why he has dick cross. Crucidick.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
About
the whole thing about QAnon is that it was, you know, it's like, guys, you were right about the essential premise you were right about. I will hand it to you. But it was your guy. It was your guy that was doing the guy. He's the guy doing it. And now you want to like, oh, QAnon, what? I don't know. It's, you know, still Hillary Clinton and pizza, ping pong pizza, or whatever the fuck.
Rippaverse, comic book shops that refuse to carry our books because we aren't distributed by their 2 major distributors.
That's not why. I'm willing to bet that most comic book shops they won't. It's because of your fucking politics, you goddamn fascist. You fucking fascist fucking propagandist, man. That's what you are. You're a MAGA defender without being, you know, that's the one thing you're good at is pretending like you're actually just a libertarian who doesn't give a shit about MAGA or whatever, and you actually do just support whatever the talking points on the right are. And
he calls himself a libertarian, and he supports fucking ICE. Get out of here. That's not libertarian shit.
Well, but it's because out of spite, you know, he supports them because if he didn't, then that would mean he's aligning himself with us, and we don't like ICE for the wrong reasons. So he has to be cool with ICE because of that, right?
That
principle, Bob. Principles.
That sounds like a strong moral principle right there.
Contain like social media pockets where it's taboo to even mention.
When have you ever gone into a comic book store and seen a single issue? I don't care how many pages it is.
Yeah.
That's $30 by something you've never heard of it before. Who the fuck would expect you? Nobody. The only people that you could get to pay that are fucking, your audience that are like already into your grift for whatever previous reason.
Now listen, Keanu Reeves has an overpriced comic book that he releases an issue of like every few months. It's overpriced. He gets good creators to work on it, and frequently they're decent. Sometimes they're really good. The Jason Aaron one was excellent, but he gets good creators to work on it. But it is overpriced. That's only $10.
Yeah,
that's nothing compared to Rippaverse.
Talking about Berserk or what?
Yeah, that's Berserker. Yeah,
he doesn't know what it is. Yeah. He'd have to stop and he'd have to pretend he just wants to talk about something else for a minute.
Let's talk about Isom.
Us.
No, let's talk about Isom.
We'll attack you for daring to give us a fair shot. So we appreciate every single person who spreads the word about what.
Look, at least he's not starting a new beef with the guy because he probably recognizes or maybe thinks that there's still a chance he might be able to get him on his side if he like plays it, kind of down the middle with him or whatever. So
yeah, maybe.
But look, he's not fun. This guy's not fun anymore. He used to be really fun. Now it's just kind of sad and stupid. What might be fun is looking into this whole quartering thing.
Okay, before we do that, I need to go to Walmart and poop myself and then pee in the corner of my basement.
Okay.
Just get in the mood, just to sync up here.
So when you've got, literally everybody is just roasting him, all sides of the spectrum, everybody's done with it, it seems like. I think he's not, of course he pivoted to doing his, goddamn content previously, but let's see. Oh, I have this we can check out first, which I think is just a fun way to introduce what he's been up to lately. So y'all know that he was or still does do a show with Melanie Mac, right? I don't know if he still does.
Yes.
So this was him with a very unforced error not too long ago. I guess this was around the start of March. And here he is this is his other channel, or I think his original channel from before he got, got. And he's just talking to chat, seemingly at the beginning of a stream, and he just stumbles into like, why would you?
If you're in the chat, I'm worried about where Melanie Mac is. Stop being such a fucking loser, You guys know she's married and she's on her honeymoon. So if you're trying to like get a response by being a degenerate piece of shit, like know that she's my friend.
Like honestly, right here at first, it's like, hey man, cool. I'm he's actually saying the right thing here. It's like, look, men and women can work together and it's not a big deal. You guys are being fucking creeps in the chat, It's like, wow, good guy Jeremy for a moment there.
And it's not gonna work. I suppose it worked by getting me to say that.
Super quiet, I know. Sorry about that. I don't know.
I'm super pumped that we got that good pull on Pokemon because the Pokemon openings have been.
Hopefully you guys can hear it because I can't really make it any louder.
There's also this like weird like Jeremy's friends with a girl, so he's definitely trying to sleep with her thing. That is being perpetrated by only people who have never been allowed around girls. And
why are you even getting that oxygen? Why are you getting...
I'm friends with a lot of girls, and you're allowed to watch football with them and be married and not be trying to sleep with them.
Cool. You should have ended it there, Jeremy, but let's continue.
You guys all know I'm a boob guy anyway.
You know I'm a boob guy anyway, he says.
It's like a totally weird
so close
fan fiction. I like my boobs 2 scoops full. All right. So I love Melanie.
Damn it, dude.
But, as a friend,
bro.
it's easy to do.
It's like he's constitutionally, pathologically incapable of being too like decent for too long a period of time or something. Like,
yeah, to get back with the.
It's like, look, we're just friends. She's married. I respect my friend, but her tits are too small.
Yeah, I'm a boob guy, man. If she doesn't have solid C's, I'm out, man. It's like
calling
Jesus
women girls.
Christ,
Yeah, that's
bro.
weird. All right, so let's check out the surfs. Or are you guys? Would you guys want to do that, or you want me to read from Reddit?
Yeah.
Which one?
No, we can.
Let's go with the surfs.
All right.
Okay.
Really drunk, and then late at night he'll go on these Twitter diatribes where he reveals so much tea. And the problem is, if you're not awake for it, I'll wake up the next day and I'll have no idea it took place because he deletes it all. He'll just he'll get wasted. He'll just go off like Elijah Schaefer is a closeted homosexual. Hey, you all know this guy. He's a transphobic wizard on the internet. He's the guy who hates the gays. And women. Oh boy, does he ever hate women. That part's kind of wild, eh? Like, how do you go about, like, hating the gays and making fun of the gays and being like, gay, yeah, all of you F-slurs are a bunch of fucking, F-slurs, blah, 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 all that shit. And then at the same time, you hate women so much. It's like, well, I mean, that must be because this guy has traditional views of masculinity and gender norms, and he deeply respects women. No, he's massive, weird.
I mean, homophobia is at the root of homophobia is misogyny. When you think about it, like, why would anybody have a problem with somebody's acts effeminate or something? Like, okay, what's wrong with that? Oh, because you don't like women. That's why you think it's weak. You think they're less than. Gotcha.
Sex pest creep in that regard too. He's had a series of embarrassments. The thing with Jeremy that I've noticed is that he's able, much like a cockroach, to survive some of the strangest scandals on the internet. I think part of his audience enjoys that he is just so wretched. Maybe that's part of the appeal. I got to imagine that's part of it. Otherwise, I don't know what is going on here. How he's been.
That's funny that you said that, because I literally have a video. I think it's the one where yes, it's the one where Little Movie Perp and I talked about the Ryan Gosling as Black Panther bullshit trope that they like to bring out. And it was because Hambly had said it that time. And throughout the videos, whenever I was doing like the animated avatars of me and Perp, and throughout the whole thing, whenever I would talk about the quartering, it would be like a little cockroach with his head would come out from under the side of the screen, like all the time. I just also want to say that this apparently gets into dealing with the channel Kino Casino, which, if you're not aware, Andy Worski is the main guy behind that, and he is just, or at least for some period, was very well known as being a Nazi and very extremely disgusting individual. Apparently he kind of went off off the grid for a little while, or out of the spotlight on YouTube, and came back, and now they've managed to make this Kino Casino thing pretty popular, I think. But I don't want to lose sight of the fact that I think he's probably still just a Nazi, and if he's not, then I doubt that he's actually, like, I haven't heard anything of him saying, well, you know what, I used to believe some abhorrent shit, and I retracted all, or nothing like that. So I think he's probably just still a piece of shit. So none of this is us being like, oh, we're on the side of the other peoples that are against Jeremy Hambly. It's all just enjoying chuds destroying each other. And whoever loses, we all win. So
yeah, just get the popcorn ready.
Yeah, and well, right. I mean, I know that because motherfucking me and Turf Nation broke that news. You know what I'm saying? We were the ones that broke it. God damn it. Anyway. The only reason Worski gave up the race realist stuff wasn't because he saw the light, but because the race realist started making fun of him. Yeah, that's what I kind of got really quick over looking through Reddit earlier. So I was like, I'm pretty sure this guy's a Nazi. I got to look and make sure before I say that. I was right.
Able to do this for so long because he's got this cycle where he'll do something profoundly embarrassing. It could be, making an entire channel where he gives tech support advice, and one of that piece of advice of tech support is how to get away with having child sexual abuse material on your computer. Because when he was working at Best Buy, him and other employees would look at people's hard drives and they found child sexual abuse material. So he makes a PS.
So yeah, I don't know if I would have to dig for that clip, but you've probably all seen it by now. There's it's from a while back, but you know, it happened, period. Where Jeremy Hambley is on camera giving advice to anybody who might have anything on their hard drive that they, you know, could get the cops called on them by Best Buy or whatever, whatever he's working or whatever. And like, that's, you know, a bit fucked up.
Just a bit. Just
like, if I'm sure most of you are very well aware how big a piece of shit Jeremy Hambley is. It's almost, it really can be overstated though.
Say on how to get away with having child sexual abuse material, and then we got exposed for that. The channel got deleted mysteriously. There's, you know, him getting so wasted that his wife made him stay in the basement, and then he was just playing video games and pissing himself in the basement. That was embarrassing. He just divulged to the world that he like shit himself in a Walmart because he didn't know he was lactose intolerant, like into his 40s, shit like that. And then obviously there's been a handful of weird fallouts because he also goes after, you know, people on the right. He'll get really drunk, and then late at night he'll go on these Twitter diatribes where he reveals so much tea. And the problem is, if you're not awake for it, I'll wake up the next day and I'll have no idea it took place because he deletes it all. He'll just like he'll get wasted. He'll just go off like, Elijah Schaefer is a closeted homosexual. Everyone knows this. He's so gay. So is Crowder. Steven Crowder loves sucking man dick. I know this to be a true fact. You know, shit like that. And like, you won't know about this unless someone screenshots it. But even if someone screenshots it, sometimes they don't Wayback Machine it, and the next day he'll be like, that's not true, those are fake. So he's a hard person to catch, and he's a hard person to get in trouble. And I think finally he's met his match, because on this last scandal, there were two other kind of drama tubers who were making content on him, and they basically uploaded content that had receipts that the anti-LGBTQ plus bigot himself, Jeremy Hambley, seems to enjoy engaging in either cuckoldry or bisexual swinging or something of the nature in which he is performing sex acts with a sex worker and his wife, and participating in those sex acts either as a participant / observer, as someone who is helping a man pleasure his wife, and also helping and receiving pleasure from.
I want to point out, and you know, Ryan and I were talking about this before the stream. What's hilarious here is that if the left found out about this, if anybody that doesn't like Jeremy Hamblin, hasn't liked him historically for all the shit, the many things that he's done and said, I don't think any of us would be like, I mean, we might call him a hypocrite for sure, but it wouldn't be like judging him morally for doing it in the first place. For, you know,
whatever you like to do.
I'm actually proud of him for doing consensual stuff and not, you know, leaning towards the other thing we just talked about. But sorry, Bob.
No. For me, the funny aspect is the pure hypocrisy of it, because this is what he makes fun of people for, and then
but then his people, you know, and if you need proof that these are his people that are canceling him, essentially, here's just a little clip of this. If it's gonna play, we'll see.
Disney Plus is really not good at putting out good programming, and we're going to talk about that after a quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Antelope Hill Publishing. Antelope Hill Publishing is America's leading publisher of dissident books. Their eclectic catalog includes Lord Miles's memoir of his first.
So here I helpfully added the Wikipedia entry to Antelope Hill. So Antelope Hill is an American white nationalist publisher based in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. It's known for selling translations of historical works by Nazis, fascists, and ultranationalists, as well as new works by far-right writers. It was founded in 2020. The Southern Poverty Law Center has called Antelope Hill an anti-Semitic hate group.
Jesus Christ.
Man, the quartering. And this is the kind of interesting thing, I guess, is that it was in a subreddit that I've visited before called The Quartering is a Nazi, right? I've gotten stuff out of there before, but at the same time, I've always been like, you know, like just now when I was very specific about what a neo-Nazi is, I would see that and I go, man, that's kind of, I don't like when people just call everybody a Nazi. So like, I think that kind of undermines what, you know, trying to talk. Oh, naive Dane of like 2 years ago or whatever. They're all Nazis now, man. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I totally support not calling everybody a Nazi. The problem is they're all pretty much Nazis.
They
It's
started
like- it's
behaving
like
exactly
fucking
like
hell.
Nazis and like,
Yeah.
yeah, defending Nazis.
Well, I mean,
Nazi shit.
realistically, with the quartering, the first clue should have been when he replied to, I think it was David Kep, the voice of Solid Snake, when he said David
And
Kep
there it
tweeted
is.
"fuck Hitler." I think.
Oh, that was actually. I'm pretty sure it was it was a writer. I think I forget his name, but maybe I don't know. But it was it was nonetheless. It was.
It was
you're
either
right.
him or it was Michael Giacchino, someone like that. It was somebody
like that.
known.
It was.
But,
yeah, he said, "Oh, and there it is. Yikes," or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just
As
like,
if like "fuck Hitler" was a controversial statement.
right.
From,
Wow, you're a cool guy for saying that. You know, you must be doing that for performative woke points. And it's like, no, it's just also just fuck Hitler. You know. Then there's also this. I don't know if I have this edited or not. I really hope I do.
I mean, I think a good thing to
remove.
Tough act to follow.
Was it liberating or was it super liberating for you to say the N-word?
Super liberating for you to say the N-word.
I grew up saying it, so
I
that's
knew
normal
it.
for me.
I knew it.
I
knew
didn't
it.
Can you say it now?
And then she says it. I muted it.
Nigger word?
Oh, got
Yeah.
it. I did not mute it in time. And then he just fucking loses it. He's like
The
so
nigger word?
fucking tickled. He's so goddamn sorry about that, guys. I apologize. You know, there it is. Just so you know that he's literally losing his shit, laughing his ass off at a woman, I suppose. She's a big piece of shit too. Saying that word as if like it's the most fucking pleasurable sound he's ever heard.
the amount of pleasure these guys get from the N-word is disturbing, to say the least. It's just a fucking word. I mean,
it's
move on.
really weird, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
so weird.
Like literally stopping. You know, I feel embarrassed that I fucking accidentally let that fly on here, and slightly worried that something's gonna happen from it. But
Well, it sounded like it was slightly clipped. I didn't hear the end sound in either of them, so it was just kind of the back half. But I mean, it was clear. But yeah,
I have been known to vary only in the most basics because it's like when I'm editing something like that, I'm like, I want to make sure that people know this really was said. So I try to do it in a way that's like it's not. Yeah, it's tightrope.
It's almost like that thing you get with kids where you say like, "Oh, whatever you do, don't touch that," and then they walk up to it and they just sort of like do that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sort of impulse. Like, who cares? Just don't say it. It's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, it's not about anybody except people that might potentially just be, you know, the reason that word is not okay is because it's literally connected directly to a bunch of trauma, and if that can potentially cause that kind of reaction for anybody, I feel regretful for that, and I'm sorry. So anyway, let's get back to this. So this video is, by the way, is called "The Cuckening Leak." So his text, I guess, or some messages got leaked. We'll see what's going on with that.
Watching the man receive pleasure, stuff of that nature. The reason why I think any of it is newsworthy is obviously because he lost his shit to this. It's yes, deeply hypocritical. He is someone who definitely does not approve of cuckoldry, does not approve of bisexuality or pansexuality, does not approve of people engaged, even if they are consensual adults, in activities that he considers to be degenerate or depraved, of which he has been very critical of throughout the years.
So he apparently has been approving of adults having images that are literally exploit children who cannot consent. So, weird priorities, man.
Yeah.
So all of that is obviously going to be pretty scandalous. What's wild, though, is that the two people who made this video about him and his alleged, the cuckoldry and being involved with the sex worker, he took that video down, or at least he tried to get the video taken down. And that's where I think a lot of people started to go, oh, wait, so he's into this. Like he's kind of into the scene. Like, so he's been exposed in the past of being into a specific kind of fetish, which was forced impregnation porn, which was, I think, uncovered to be forced male impregnation porn, as in men are being forced to impregnate women was like, and he had it on his browser. He was basically like looking through his search on his browser, and then it was like one of his search history popped up, and it was like Reddit/r/forced impregnation porn or something like that, and everyone was like, oh my god. But again, like most of his scandals, it's just kind of like, whatever, those Antifa, trying to come after it. And then people just forget. Same thing with like, him having an actual channel where he was uploading videos, instructing people on how to get away with crimes, and then just deleting that. People, I guess, just like forgot about it, and he just moves on to the next cycle. This one is not going away. So the scandal is unfortunately getting a little wild. This is not confirmed, but so far, apparently, according to r/the quartering is a Nazi, this is a message
that old subreddit.
From the sex worker, and content warning for everybody. I thoroughly enjoyed your husband pushing your head down on my cock this weekend.
Oh.
Now, if true, if this turns out to be in fact accurate, and again, this is alleged, I cannot say whether or not it is true or not, but if it is true, that means that the quartering was involved in a consensual sex act with a sex worker, and may have been doing what was either a cucking fetish or perhaps a pansexual or bisexual participatory fetish, in which he wanted to both watch and help and assist a man to sexually pleasure his wife. If true. Again, we have no idea. This has not been confirmed. Again, this is somewhat breaking news, and as of now, we cannot state one way or another if it is true. I'd say the fact that this receipt, amongst others, once they got leaked in that video by the two slop tubers and the chuds, that video got taken down by the quartering, and so, or at least he tried to get it taken down. I don't know if they've gotten it back since. I think that might validate the theory that this, in fact, could be true. That he's, in fact, may go by other names. I don't know if it's the cucking. I don't know if he himself sees this as a participatory swinging act. And again, as always, I want to be completely clear. We're not here to judge people's particular kinks.
So I want to just kind of show an aside thing here that I have. I happened to see earlier when I was looking around. So it's almost to the point where I'm just like, if somebody starts judging people for, what they do, whatever they do, if it's between consenting adults and who they love, what they do, that kind of thing, then it's almost getting to the point where I'm just going to see that person as extremely suspect. Mm-hmm. Like maybe they're not doing something illegal, but they might be doing something that's exactly or very similar to the thing that they're constantly railing against. Or in the case I'm about to show you, they might be doing something that's just the worst thing.
It is shocking how much of this is self-reports.
Ohio, Bob, that's in your home.
Yes.
Ethics expert on Christian ethics and marriage and sexuality arrested for that. So where does that fit in there, guy?
Classy.
Or fetishes, or what behavior they interact with each other in a consensual nature. Of course, that's their own private business, not for anyone else's. But this has now been made publicly, this information, as a result of this man being a very public figure who, again, has frequently antagonized the queer community. What he does for a living is oftentimes vilify people who are homosexual, vilify people who are trans, and in so dehumanizing them in order to create content. And oftentimes, his primary target is women. The quartering for years has been making endless misogynistic slop, video after video after video. I don't know how many thousands he has on Brie Larson at this point, that direct an unbelievable amount of hate towards the people who he targets at any given time, right? And oftentimes they are women or femme presenting individuals, and oftentimes they have to deal with a whole bunch of shit that comes from, oh shit, there's a new quartering video on me, what the fuck? And I can tell you firsthand what it's like to get the quartering make a video on you, and then all of a sudden all of your channels get flooded with comments. I don't know if that's why the Surf Times got mass flagged or taken down, but I've had the Surf Times get taken down around the time that I was making videos on the quartering, and then the few times that he claps back, he would have that happen. So he's a man of what seems to be enormous hypocrisy. If this is in fact true, if he does have a cucking fetish, if he is involved in pansexual or bisexual swinging or cuckoldry activities with his wife, while at the same time vilifying other people for engaging in those kind of activities. He's been vilifying and using cuck as a derogatory slur for a very, very long time. He has been attacking LGBTQ LGBTQ+ people, saying that they are groomers and pedophiles simply for existing. He's oftentimes amplified the work of Matt Walsh and Libs of TikTok, and that directly results in stochastic terrorism being directed towards children's hospitals, children's schools, teachers. Like, this kind of shit does have real world consequences.
Lance is spitting fire right now. I just want to say that, but also his audience, as Bob knows, and Ryan might know too, is some of the dumbest motherfuckers of all of the grifters audiences that we've ever dealt with. Like, whenever it's obvious that I'm getting the quartering, I made a video talking about the quartering or whatever a couple times, and then his audience has found it and Reddit or wherever the hell they find it, and then they show up. It's like, it's obvious, and they are like, just objectively, by and large, far less capable of communicating in any coherent way.
Yeah, like, I'd say the other people who compete would probably be Melanie Mac's audience. Shoe on
Which at this point,
audience,
same audience.
Interestingly enough. Interesting.
Yeah, probably the same audience, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
real quick, I just want to shout out that I appreciate how often the word chud's being used so often anymore. I feel like early on we were one of the ones that were saying it earlier, and everybody uses it now. And all the chud fanboys who always are like, I don't know what that means. There's so many YouTubers who use that word and use it perfectly, just like Lance just did.
Oh, did you know that you've seen the Harry Dresden video? I'm sure, right? The viral video of Harry Dresden. Ryan, you seen that?
It doesn't ring a bell.
I don't know if I have.
I'll grab it in a minute, but like, it's going around, and I've seen that posted and talked about various places as a chud, and it's like channels I've never heard of. They're not like fandom channels, and they're calling this guy like Emperor Chud and stuff like that. Let me grab that, because
So he is a horrifying monster of the highest order, and if this is what finally does take him down, mashallah, very good news. It would be fantastic. And like, I've seen already that there's some people in the quartering is a Nazi saying that this is starting to actually show some evidence of bringing down his, well, if you ever want to see Twink Death, my god, I want to see the one about the notes. I'm loving the download. That is this edited? That's not edited. That looks pretty bad. That looks like a man who's not slept a lot. Looks like a man who's teetering on the edge. Doesn't know, It sucks too, because maybe his safe place used to be calling up a good old friend or two and being like, hey, is there any chance that maybe we all just hang out and have ourselves a little consensual activity between adults that may or may not involve a chair, may or may not involve a cage. Who knows? But not anymore. The good times are over. But apparently the views are not doing great. He stated that he was going to be addressing this, by the way. He's like, I'm going to be attacking the scandal. Just wait. I've got the receipts, blah, blah. That was, I think, like a week ago. So no, he's not touching this. And so he's...
I don't mean derail this, but I just want to bring up Harrison's comment, because just a robot. Oh my God. Like, his shit is so blatantly like racist and shit. It's so hilarious. Like when we covered him, it was just hilarious. I was dying.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm having flashbacks now. Whenever he was like, there's not a lot of, what was it? There's not something about there's not very many Asian Americans or something.
Yes. That was one of his arguments, and that's where I did a video reaction. And then his reaction to my reaction was him saying, the Little Mermaid Ariel, you can't really be racist about her because she passes the brown paper bag test. And I had to literally Google that. I'm like, the fuck is the brown paper bag test?
Looked that up together.
This is real racism.
We all looked that up together or something. We were like,
yeah,
it was like,
we were all just like, what the fuck?
Because we were like, he's doing archaic, like outdated racism. It's like, not even.
How dare you call me a racist? That he does the most racist.
Modern Nazis are looking at him like, come on, man, get with the times,
Like, oh my God. Yeah, just a robot. Fucking so stupid, but hilarious.
Yeah.
He's refusing to talk about it, reverting to, of course, his old and regular slop. But the numbers aren't doing great. I think he's got over 1 million subs. So, to be getting 33,000 views per video, which is closer to what I get. And, we're only looking at 100,000 subs or maybe 112,000 in the surf time. So getting similar views with a channel that has millions of subs means something's wrong.
Y'all ready to see the Emperor of Chuds?
Oh, yes.
This is pretty wild, man. It is doorbell footage from I guess this guy just had this situation happen, and it is just bizarre. I'm going to present it with no more context than that.
Hello.
Hi there. Can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just figured I'd check on something.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house.
Open this fucking door.
So you may notice that he just wants to check on something, and then he, with his combat flip-flops on, tried to kick the door, which then bounced him off the porch. He's wearing a trench coat. Once again, combat flip-flops. And then the thing he says next is where I was like, what?
Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter, man?
What are you talking about?
Where's your daughter? Who's in there with you?
Bro, if you don't
open
leave...
this fucking door. Open this door, I'm breaking it fucking down. You understand me?
Leave my house. You don't...
Are you okay? Is everyone in this house okay?
What? Everyone's okay. What do you want?
So I've seen something about that maybe this guy is somebody who is into some conspiracy theories on the internet and somehow became convinced that this random house that he apparently didn't have any dealings with. Now, and the one thing I didn't know when I first watched this, because I just saw some other channel commenting on it, and they didn't tell me the rest of it that happened after this, is that he actually got into the house.
Did?
And yeah, the guy is not actually there, from what I understand. He's actually speaking to him through the camera on his phone. But a woman and their child was there, daughter was there. And then so he came back, I guess, pretty quickly, and then had a shovel, and there was a fight, and they both kind of hurt each other, and then the cops showed up, and this guy's been arrested. He's apparently had other issues in the past with some similar aggression towards random people, and obviously that seems to indicate that he's got some issues and needs to be treated for, and hopefully that's dealt with. But like, it's just, if it is true that it's something that was sparked in part by the online conspiracy theories, it's just, be careful, man. You know what I mean? Like this, it's not going to be the only example of this that's happening and will happen. Similar things happening. So just lock your doors. I hate to say that, but that's where we're in right now. So
yeah, we don't. I don't live in Canada, so.
True. He just stared like it's fucking. It's pretty disturbing. How confident
I would be freaking out if this guy was at my door, just like, the fuck are you doing? Just fucking leave.
Can you leave my house, please?
Can you open the door, please?
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
You know what my name is?
I don't know who you are. You don't belong to this neighborhood. That's for sure.
This is my neighborhood, though.
Real quick, I just want to say Begonia is, in my opinion, a trip of a movie. I enjoy it quite a bit.
I haven't seen it. I thought it was going to be something I'd enjoy. I haven't seen it yet.
It's wild, but it's definitely worth checking out.
I mean, I know the premise generally, so but yeah.
If you know the director, you'll know a little bit more. And I will actually say it's one of his more one of his more normal movies, more restrained. And that movie goes crazy, so it gives you an idea of his other
stuff. My RuneScape account.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean that would be something kind of understandable. I think that this is something more fucked up and internet pilled, internet poisoned.
Yeah, I live there. I don't know you.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Open the door. This is
Ryan. Who is Harry Dresden?
I don't know. That's what confused me about this. I was aware of this news, but I didn't put the.
I thought so. It's from the Dresden Files, I believe, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I figured you'd know that. No.
No, it passed me by.
My neighborhood. Open the fucking door.
This is where it's about to get alarming. So for jump scare.
No, or I will fucking end you. Do you understand me?
What the fuck?
Okay.
I'm assuming he's calling cops at this point because that's what I'd be doing. And
Yeah, the cops show up. The guy got there, I think, too, and fortunately, his family wasn't hurt. Nobody was hurt. Well, the guy was hurt. That guy was hurt, and then the guy that was talking, I believe, they both hurt each other's heads, is what I understand. Jesus Christ, he's not well, man. That's not good. All right, back to something a little bit less intense and more fun to watch.
People are suddenly abandoning the brand or the grift or the show. We can't say exactly why. Not entirely sure, but he is also a live streamer, I believe, on Kick. He ended his live stream on Kick with 89 views. Not great. Battlefield Afternoons, the quartering. So I don't know if this is having, like, again, this is all just hearsay. These are just random posts on r/the quartering is a Nazi. But it is looking bad. Pretty sus. I don't know if he's going to issue a statement eventually if things boil over or get a little too wild. You'll notice that he isn't rushing to show any screen recordings like he did yesterday. So what's his latest? I see how they've switched from he flagged it down to he called someone to he flagged it down. Some slur spotted that I had a conversation with YouTube. Sorry to report it about my unsleeved media channel. It was demonized. Do you mean to say demonetized?
Same thing, man.
It was demonized, and I was reporting the problem. Oh, okay. Yesterday, I showed that I had not flagged their channel, and then they came up with this crazy theory from some unknown source that I almost definitely called someone at YouTube. Now it's back to definitely flagging it down when no one believed them. Happy birthday to me. Oh, if you also didn't know, the quartering, and if that text leak is confirmed, had reached out to a variety of people in other positions of power. I think he reached out to like one of the head mods of Kiwi Farms, or maybe it was the founder of Kiwi Farms, to try and basically talk about how he's going to leverage this and that it's like a battle and other weird shit like that. If that DM is true, I don't know if that leak is a verified leak. And for my final act, I will prove my rep no longer even works at YouTube. I've disproven every single accusation. Anybody accusing me now is doing so in bad faith. I reached out when my channel started to get flagged by certain folk gowned out. He doesn't even work there anymore. Oh, found. Okay. Yep. We were so close. I didn't even know he didn't work there anymore. Can we be done already? YouTube Premium, YouTube Creators, send an email, be super specific about what's going on. It sounds like you're sweeping. It looks like a sweep, or at least it looks like he's trying to sweep. I feel like a sweeping is afoot.
These movies would not be possible without the support of our executive producers, Political Poppy.
Yeah,
Mark
shout out
Ronaldo,
to Lance
Words
and the
Greenwood,
Serps, always bringing the
Ryan
goods.
Anna, Sebastian
Nice
Demmel,
quick video,
Omni.
giving us the deets there. Hopefully nothing works out for Jeremy Hambley. That's all I'll say.
Real quick, I have like one short on the quartering. I went ahead and grabbed it real quick.
Okay.
Not his most controversial thing, obviously, but it's a kind of a classic. This is back during Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh.
You have Ewan McGregor out here clowning himself, acting like this woman, like people, like where, like.
Oh, dude, there's you. I like the Ewan McGregor video. I thought he was based.
Did people send her pictures of like burning crosses and say, "Get out of," like where is?
Oh, is it not racist enough? Is that the issue? Jesus,
is this? And to be honest with you, I don't even think you could really call any of these. I mean, you'd have to really stretch to call any of these racist.
You'd have to stretch to call it racist. Literally on the screen is one of the N-word on it. Oh, dude. It's just a classic.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the other metric that we had to argue that one time was, well, how do you know that every single message that she got was racist? And it's like, what are you talking? What is that? What you're saying?
Listen, I'm sure they're not all racist. Does it matter? Like the fuck?
Right? Like if 3 of them, if 5 of them are, and you know it's way more than that, but like, come on,
they shouldn't be getting any harassing messages at all. The racism just makes it worse. But like, none of it should be happening.
Just guys want to take a look for yourselves and see what your algorithm brings up, because you know this is mine, of course. But like, type in the quartering on YouTube and just see. Look, this is a yellow flash going after him. There's a Asmongold apparently called out the quartering for striking channels. Side scrollers. Internet versus, I don't know who that is. Probably some chuds. You know, not great. Anthony Gramuglia, like I said, I don't believe he's a chud.
Anthony Gramuglia? Oh, yeah,
I don't care what y'all say. I don't think he's not a chud. I don't care. Yeah.
Funny thing is, though, as well, which just tells you everything, is that a lot of these people are more concerned that he was flagging other people's channels.
Right. That's the thing. Is like he fucked with their money, right? Like,
so
that's what it's all about.
This is a specific channel I've made specifically to watch Chud videos. So, yeah, this is looking kind of similar. Although I didn't see Anthony Gramuglia on here. Side scrollers.
I mean,
there he is. There he is.
I think probably more than most people do the people you're asking that understand that. They get off on getting paid to do it. That's what the thing is. And that's why what we're just saying is you fuck with their money, they're gonna fucking really target you. You know, I mean, and that goes all the way up to the top essentially. If you look at you remember whenever Candace Owens was had first kind of started talking shit on Erica Kirk, and they like had this meeting, this private meeting, no cameras. You know what I mean? Of course, Candace Owens is fucking crazy, so she didn't hold to her whatever agreement was made for very long. But like they agreed behind closed doors, off camera, to not go after each other or whatever the fuck, and just kind of let it slide. And it's like, why did they have to do that behind closed doors? You think? Because what they were talking about was their money. They're talking about how, you know, you're going after me, you're calling me a grifter. Look, we don't need to start calling each other grifter, because that's where, you know, things start affecting the money, and we know we're all about the money, so we don't do that.
Yep. I mean, yeah, it's all a grift, and it's very frustrating.
Side scrollers are trying to keep Gamergate alive. Yeah, I know they're fucking pathetic, man. That's Eric DeBunks covered them not long ago, and I wasn't. I mean, I never really paid attention to them because they're boring as shit for one thing. And yeah, I didn't know all that about the side scrollers and the screw attack history and all that stuff until I watched Movies with Mark's video. By the way, he's got a new one on The Long Man.
I actually have, I haven't finished watching that one, but yeah, Movies with Mark is awesome. But I want to do, I actually have a critique of Lance's video. I have to debunk one of his points. He said Quartering has over 1 million subscribers, which is technically true, but it's a bit misleading because he actually has over 2 million subscribers.
Yeah, and his latest videos are not doing well. This has really hit him hard. I think looking at like below 5% conversion rate from subscribers to views, which is crazy, especially with all this heat on him.
It looks like he's doing 3 videos a day, like a good little algorithm boy.
Yeah, it's not enough. I remember whenever we covered a while back, whenever he like started pivoting to just doing far more overtly racist content, and that didn't even work for him apparently.
No, his content's was lazy.
Yeah, his content's borderline unwatchable.
But he got so lazy that he was farming out basically everything apart from reading whatever he was reading on stream. He had a researcher pulling. I mean, they must have had an easy job.
Oh yeah,
pulling stories off news sites.
can't even afford to hire my researcher who does what exactly?
Yeah.
Who
got me a great sponsorship with Antelope Hill.
Look, couldn't be me. Thank God for being demisexual, because I mean I recognize that she is an attractive woman, but it doesn't do anything for me.
Listen, man, her boobs just aren't big enough.
I
think that's so weird.
I like boobs, bigger boobs.
So, like, what if Melanie Mac did actually have bigger boobs? Then he would be like, "Oh, then it's not professional. Then I'm totally into her." Like,
I would totally have some accusations against me if she had bigger boobs.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
That was sort of one of the earlier things that Kino Casino went after Quartering for, because he was so creepy around her. And she just recently put out her own public statement saying that he's never been he's never made her feel creeped out,
right?
And that they're very good friends, and that she's
she's on a payroll, so she kind of has to say that, right? Like,
although she's not in it for the money, because she's married some rich dude. So she's racist purely for pleasure.
That's not what she said.
Good
whenever
for
she
her.
quit the grift last time. She said it was all for money.
Yeah.
When she quit,
These are important questions, Harrison. What's the boob friend ratio? We need to calculate this and figure this out, because otherwise it just doesn't make sense.
I had an image that I found somewhere that would have been fun. It would be fun if I could find it really quickly, but it was like I guess it was an AI art, like a Studio Ghibli version of the Quartering and Melanie Mac sitting there whenever she's like seems uncomfortable with him talking about them hanging out or whatever. It was pretty fun. Anyways, yeah. What else was that? Is that it? We got anything else?
Let me look up the old let's see if we have anything in the good old Eric July server.
Oh god. The one where we are so dedicated to Eric July because how successful he is.
Exclusive Discord server just dedicated to Eric July. Because we're so mad at him.
Hey, Ripaverse Goalposts, if you're out there, man, I hope you're all right, Eric.
Dude, I'll be honest, dude was fucking hilarious, dude.
It was pretty unironically hilarious, yeah. So that Trump as Jesus thing, man, that seems really really piss some MAGA folks off a little bit, right?
I don't know what you mean. Trump as Jesus. I mean, I've seen him as a doctor. But...
Oh, right, he was a doctor. Yeah. I was mistaken. Me and a couple other people thought it was maybe Jesus, but we're stupid.
Yeah, I mean, only who could think that would be Jesus? It's clearly a doctor. Everybody knows doctors all dress like that.
How is it that every literal single thing this man does is just a fucking disaster? Like, he tried to do what should have really been a layup with the whole DoorDash thing and no taxes on tips and stuff, and it's like, and that just became another fucking disaster. I mean, maybe that's the point, because that means that thing becomes what's being discussed instead of bombing 140 girls in a Iranian school or all of the pedophilia stuff. I don't know, but like he is master at like kicking the discourse down the road.
Yeah.
It makes my eyebrows do this.
I never did learn the story behind that. What the fuck was up with that?
So the best thing that I found was somebody explained that this is what happens when you are a conservative man who basically he's pays to get his stuff done, like his hair and his face and stuff like that. And whoever he paid in this example, or whoever did it, kind of went a little overboard or something. I don't know. And that but nobody has the fucking balls to tell him that he looks ridiculous on him.
The eyebrows are intense, man. It's like,
oh my god, is that real? Like, Your dad thought it was fake? Like, is your dad MAGA or something? What's up with that? Kyle from
Which is weird.
Saudis are folding the LIV golf league because of Trump. Oh, cool. Good. That's where Jeremy Griggs' eyebrows went. Sorry,
yeah, and Shapiro must have found him and said, "Oh, this is where I left him."
Right.
I was just going to say, weird that his dad thought that when Trump said that it literally was him that posted the picture. That's not the cover story. The cover story is not that he was hacked. It was that he definitely posted it.
Yeah.
But that he thought it was him of the doctor. And not just that he made the mistake, but that not just that he thought it was him as a doctor, but that it obviously was, and everybody else is wrong. So, yeah.
Did y'all see that shit with Afro Man?
I've never done a proper dive into it.
It's I'll tell you the disappointing ending from my experience with it. The whole thing, I was very excited to cover it, and I did cover it on a Friday night stream where I was like, this is fucking great. He really owns these cops that were doing shady cop shit that cops do actually all the time around the country. But nonetheless, he won. But then I found out after that he's actually MAGA, and I was like, oh,
Afro Man's MAGA?
Yeah, apparently so.
Ew.
Disappointing.
Ew. I had no idea. It's because he got high.
Right. I mean, obviously. Must have been high. Tool reference. Anyway, I can't find the
Yes.
No, it is. They have a song called "The Pot." Tool.
Yeah. No, I am. Yes. 10,000 days. Yes, I'm aware.
Yes. Oh, wow, Bob. We should have been talking about Tool all this time, man. What's fuck?
Lateralis is the best, by the way.
I agree. I've got a tattoo of from the artwork on my back.
Oh yeah, that album's a fucking banger.
It's best.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah.
You know what? I don't talk about it because Tool fans are really fucking annoying. They're like one of my top two favorite bands, and like I've hated talking to nearly every Tool fan that I've spoken with. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
I always have to be honest. I love Tool, but I have to be in a certain mood to listen to them. When I'm in that mood though, like it's fucking banger stuff.
Yeah.
But there's very few songs I'm like, oh yeah. There's a few songs by them where I can listen to most any of the time. Parabola is one of them. I want to say Ticks and Leeches.
Ticks and Leeches is
I
pretty
like
good.
that one.
Lateralis, the song is very good.
That's a good one. Although I have to be more in the mood for that one, but yeah, I do like that one. I know.
Patient is very good. The Grudge, the first song on that album, where it's got that like 41-second scream, that's pretty fucking good. Anyway, nobody's ever suggested this before. Right Into is pretty excellent. I've actually got a acoustic cover that I did that I've not subjected anyone to, but I might if I get it sounding better. It's difficult. Stephen A. Smith is a celebrity? I mean, what's he have to do with anything? Oh, I see. Is he MAGA? I mean, he's kind of a dipshit from what I understand.
He's sort of a fence sitter.
Well, and then what are the positions I've seen him taking are like dipshit positions for sure.
I will tell you the thing I liked about Tool over Pussifer, and I enjoy Pussifer as well. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
but what I like about Tool
goes along, I like them more. Like for earlier on, I was like, okay, it's kind of samey, but they've developed a lot more. Sorry.
But what I like about Tool is it's the prog rock fan of me. It's why I like Genesis. Why I like Yes. I like how Tool pretty much takes a really cool sound and just explores it for like 10 minutes. I just dig that.
Yep. And then their most recent album is not my favorite one, but it is like a perfect, like kind of just refinement of everything that they've always done. It really is just everything that they've done previously on Fear Inoculum is like
Fear Inoculum. That's it.
It's
yeah.
just the most
Yeah.
mature and streamlined version of it, and done extremely well.
Yeah, no, I won't consider it one of my favorites from them, but it's really good. Like, I don't think they have a bad album, but yeah, yeah, no.
Bill Maher's terrible, and Pussifer's Bohemian Rhapsody is awesome. Yes, both of those things are true. Here's this. I don't remember how much I explained in this short, but here it is. The rapper Afro Man won a defamation lawsuit filed by 7 Ohio sheriff's deputies who sued him over music videos in which he used home security footage to mock their raid of his home. The case tested the limits of parody and the license artists can take in social commentary directed at public figures. The deputies collectively sought nearly $4 million in damage. They wanted $4 million. No reasonable person would expect a police officer not to be criticized. That's what, the defense lawyer said. So the Adams County deputies said they were publicly harassed over the viral videos, which were viewed more than 3 million times on YouTube. The videos show rifle-wielding deputies busting down Afro Man's door, searching his shoes and his suit pockets, and hungrily eyeing a cake on the kitchen table, inspiring one song's title, Lemon Pound Cake. In other music videos, Afro Man took aim at the deputies' personal lives. This is where it gets great, okay? So once they sued him, that's when he's like, oh, okay, that's how you want to do this. You want to sue me for, causing you some distress or something? He started digging into these cops' backgrounds, individual cops that were in the video and in the raid, found their dirty laundry and made a song and a video about basically each one.
So real quick to jump back a bit earlier in our discussion, the other song I was thinking of by Tool that I listen to regularly, 46 and 2.
That is a very good one as well. Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, there's not a song that I think is bad. There are some in the earlier catalog that are definitely more
experimental. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, but I mean, more for me, it's like that's when they were younger, so there's more like anger in the heaviness, whereas like they started exploring being heavy band without anger being the root of that heaviness, and that's what I definitely love that as an older, not angry guy. Not as angry as I was anyway. And yeah, so it some of that's I'm like I got to be in the right mood for. But 46 and 2 is literally about growing and changing and stuff. So that's good. It's a good messages in those Tool albums. Like that song "Hooker with a Penis."
I'm not judging.
I know, man. They really are. It's like, oh, you know about the Fibonacci sequence? Yes, dude. Shut the fuck up, Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah, no, I do think it's hilarious that they do a song in German that's literally just a browning recipe and it sounds fucking evil. I do appreciate that.
It sounds very
but
evil.
It's a silly joke. You know that, right?
Well, the cool thing is that that Maynard they know their fans can be dipshits because like they don't really do it as much anymore. But earlier on, I think whenever Lateralis was going to come out, they announced it and then they said, "Here's the track listing." And the titles were like these really pretentious in Latin and like vulgar terms and stuff that was not anything that then ended up being the actual. And people were like, "Whoa, look, these are crazy track titles and stuff." And then it turns out to be a joke. And they're just, I can just imagine them laughing their asses off at their fans that bought into that. I remember seeing that like, it's weird, man. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, he actually commented on that in a recent interview whenever the new Pussifer album came out. He said something alluding to that that he was trying to make a joke and he was trying to convey something with that, and he didn't feel like he did it as well as he could have. So
it's a fun song, but yeah, it's early days.
Honestly, I don't listen to Undertow really at all. I
like as much as I really used to love holy shit, what was their big single off that? I'm completely brain farting. Sober, yes. As much as I used to love Sober, I almost never listen to that album anymore.
It's really whenever I used to play in a band that like we would cover several Tool songs, Rage Against the Machine and stuff. And all my buddies loved that album, and I would try to get into it as much as I did with Anima and Lateralis and stuff, and I just didn't really do it for me. Partially because the bassist is a different bassist they had at that point, and he's not nearly as good as Justin Chancellor.
And then shout out to their drummer, who is probably my favorite still drumming drummer that's out there right now.
I mean, if you look around on YouTube at like other drummers, they basically, it's the consensus that he's one of, if not the top 2 or 3 in the world drummers.
I mean, we lost Neil Peart a few years ago. Phil Collins in his peak was fucking amazing, but he doesn't drum anymore. So
yeah, he also doesn't dance.
No, he never could do that. He never could. It's just about
Don't
the way he
talk
walks,
either.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just.
I mean, really, the only thing about him is the way he walks. So
Yes,
I don't even know why anybody listens to him. Just watch the guy walk. That song is my oddly that's my introduction to Phil Collins was in Genesis was that song, so that's always stuck in my mind. I mean, A Perfect Circle, as a matter of fact, they have their last album that came out in 2016 or 17. It speaks a lot to the state of the world. It was very prescient and still relevant. Disillusioned is a great song. The Doomed, all that stuff still sadly fucking applies.
Yeah, there's lots of great songs off that one. I will say Perfect Circle is one, even though I don't like them as much as Tool, they're one I can listen to more often than Tool. So I feel is a weird combo, but I feel like they're a bit more accessible, which might be kind of the point.
And you still refuse to just like listen to more recent Incubus albums because you had that roommate that one time.
Yes.
Pardon
me while I burst.
I'm gonna
at least
send you
5 times a day for a year.
No, I'm gonna send you a playlist that won't have any songs you've ever heard before on it, and you're gonna love it.
I might sit down and give them a shot. But yeah.
One bit of news that I don't know if you wanted to talk about was the Disney layoffs, because that's pretty horrific.
Real quick, I want to correct this. It was actually C is for insert sophomore reference here, not actually cunt. The name of the album was C is for parentheses insert sophomore reference here. Okay. Disney layoffs. Is Walt Disney laid off? What happened?
They've announced, I think, 1,000 layoffs, mostly from the Marvel division.
I was about ready to say what I'm seeing is it's heavily hitting the Marvel division.
So Chud content's on its way out right now, I bet.
Oh, sure. I'm sure they won't be doing any coverage of this. I have the Forbes article pulled up on it. Oh my God, and they are throwing ads at me every second.
The whole Avatar movie?
Not that Avatar film, the Last Airbender.
Wait, the whole one? Last I heard, it was just
the one
part
starring
of the movie
Courtney Love.
I didn't think it was the whole thing.
James Cameron's Avatar, starring Courtney Love, has leaked.
Wait, is she really in that? Is she in? No.
No. It's because he said the whole. It's because he said the whole.
Oh, the whole
movie.
Avatar.
No, it's the animated Last Airbender movie.
Sequel.
That Paramount are making.
Gotta specify.
Yes, they have somehow that got out. Now they claim that it was accidentally emailed to a journalist, which I don't believe at all, because if that was the case, they'd know exactly who they sent it to.
All right, so going back to these layoffs, Marvel was hit hard. Artists, illustrators, character designers, environment designers, and other technical specialists responsible for the look of Marvel films and have been with the company for over a decade. Pretty fucking shitty.
It seems to be a classic cost-cutting matter because they're going to all of these people that were salaried employees. A lot of them they're going to hire back as independent contractors.
Well, I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you think about, like, I mean, it's just simply true that their stuff hasn't been doing as well, and they haven't been getting as much out since they kind of slowed down in order to kind of pivot to hopefully making.
Well, yeah, one of their excuses is that, or one of the things people are saying is that it's because they're not making the Marvel side of things. They're not producing as much content. But then it was only a couple of years ago that we only had Deadpool and Wolverine from Marvel come out. So yeah, it's frustrating. And I think,
I mean, the frustrating thing is just simply because I do hope these people get their jobs back, because I mean, I think that no matter what you feel about the state of Marvel media at this point, the people that work there and have worked there for however long are responsible for some pretty iconic content that we should feel fortunate to have gotten, even if it didn't turn out as the way we wanted sometimes.
I mean, I think one of the things that's driven me nuts about more recent Marvel stuff is not necessarily that the content is necessarily worse or anything, because I think that's overblown massively.
Sure.
But like, we've gotten some really cool characters who have just pretty much done like fucking one shots. Like Shang-Chi has barely appeared since his fucking movie. In fact, has he appeared except since the fucking Zombies, which is an alternate reality version?
No.
There's lots of characters. They've introduced plenty of cool characters since Endgame. They just haven't done anything with them, and
I feel like that it's a little bit of them. They have. I don't think they made as big a mistake as like putting out Rise of Skywalker or whatever.
Yeah.
In response, but I think that some of that is due to what they saw as fan backlash to woke diverse characters or whatever the fuck, because Shang-Chi did well in the theater. What I mean, so it's not just that it didn't make money. It came out, I think, right during the pandemic too, and it still did pretty well.
Yeah. As well as Black Widow.
Yeah. So like it just kind of seems like they got cold feet on some of the newer properties for whatever reason, and just didn't want to, they couldn't full force put it out with confidence or whatever. So
well, also it's important to recognize the effect that Trump is having on the economy. I mean,
that's true. The entire economy is fucked. I mean, it's almost $4 a gallon for gas over here in Ohio. Fucking Ohio.
And of course, his immigration policies are scaring off people from coming over here to visit tourist destinations like the Disney parks. There's a lot of issues across the entertainment industry as a whole. So yeah, it's not surprising.
Right, the economy is shit. So and of course the chuds are going to talk about woke Marvel and stuff like that, but like, they're not going to talk about that. Literally, it's their pedophile, peace guy, the man of peace. He's bringing peace to the world and stuff. That guy.
It'll get to them though, because if I was one of the people that supported their channel, I'd think long and hard about all those donations that I keep giving when I can't afford to fill the car up or food.
And Chris, I don't mean to call you out, but I think you're the one person.
That's like when I think of
even that.
The two things that come to mind that over the last like 5 years or so that really like I'm like, oh man, is that for sure. It's just like, oh god, it's not even very. I tried so hard.
It started out with promise, and then by the end, I'm like, what the fuck have we
But
done?
then the other one, it's not in the same way because it had a lot of potential. I feel like it didn't do what I wanted it to do. This is my pet. I know a lot of people liked it, but Moon Knight just kind of ended up wonky and not what I would want from Moon Knight.
I disagree a little, although I understand the complaint. I think the good definitely outweighs the bad in Moon Knight, but there is definitely wonkiness in it.
I think my biggest problem with Moon Knight was it felt small, like a small story, but seemed to have a massive budget and
true.
All the globe trotting.
Well, and I did not like the big giant fight at the end. It was just kind of like, really, we're doing that.
I want to say it was episode 4 where we dealt with his family life. Oh, dude, that one.
Sure. Yeah, there were some great episodes,
man.
for sure.
That one hit.
They handled the whole dissociative identity disorder thing really well. It's just like it was far more comedic than I would have expected, and Oscar Isaac did great. Like honestly, if I just try to disconnect it from what my expectations are, I can recognize that it is generally pretty good. But my expectations were different, and at least I can acknowledge that it's completely subjective. So maybe I'll watch it again. Quantumania is weird.
Again, I enjoyed that.
I was enjoying it, but when it was over, I'm like, what happened? Like I didn't feel like I saw a movie after it was over.
No, I watched it and I enjoyed it while I was in the theater, and then when I walked out, I was like, okay. Like at no point am I like, oh, let's examine the themes. Let's look
and Thor: Love and Thunder
really
too.
trying to say? It's just
Thor: Love and Thunder. I think was generally a misfire. For the most part, or at least in large part. Maybe not. I mean, but when I think about what I expected of Gore the God Butcher, we didn't see any God butchery. Really,
they had a whole city of gods and no God butchery. I will say Jane Foster was handled quite well in that movie. I did like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I liked the ending, you know, dealing with I mean, all that. There was some really
Yeah.
great parts to it, but it just, you know, comparing it to Ragnarok, which how can you not? I just see where they kind of let him go a little bit overboard with the hey, let's make it funny and goofy and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, I think that would have been fine if the other parts of the film hadn't been so deathly serious.
Yeah,
If you-
Lucifer. I feel like these are 3 movies. I don't know if I'd necessarily qualify them as full-fledged bad, but like,
Yeah,
they should have been better. They should have-
yeah.
I still think Quantumania was a lot of fun. It's just it's weird sci-fi, which I dig. Like sort of
Love and Thunder moved me emotionally too. Like the parts that
Oh,
you know
yeah.
that dealt with Jane Foster that were emotional, like that works. It's just I remember like sitting there and there's the rapid fire one-liners, jokes going off, you know, left and right for several minutes at a time. And the last time that I'd laughed was when the goat screamed, and then the next time that I laughed was when the goat screamed. And all the jokes in between, I got nothing. You know what I mean from me? And I was just like, I'm only laughing at the goat screaming at this point, because that's fucking funny.
I mean, I will admit, I found the goat screaming annoying at the beginning.
Sure, but
and
it's
then they
like hilarious
dropped it. They dropped it for like an hour, and then suddenly there's like this crash, and you just in the crash you suddenly hear "Wah!" and that got me.
I see. I think that the Russos have been, you know, saving up for this because if you've watched any of their other stuff, they haven't been hitting it, man. So they like have not been expending their good energy on their independent projects or whatever. So they're saving it all up. I believe it.
But yeah, I mean, also since Endgame, we've gone Guardians 3. We got No Way Home. I'm even trying to think. Multiverse of Madness was pretty good. What else? There's been plenty of really solid stuff from Marvel. Loki seasons 1 and 2, really solid stuff.
Hey, truly,
outside
Loki
the
season
McDonald's
2
commercial. Outside the
season 2 of Loki was like turned out to be because like through it felt a bit like spinning its wheels when you compare it to like how all the crazy stuff and places that it went in the first season. This one was like we're kind of doing some of the same stuff again, but like once it built to what it was building to, I was like, fuck yes. And now it's set up for, you know, he's obviously gonna have to play a role to some degree, or get killed again, in order for the plot to Doomsday.
Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four last year.
Yeah,
Really solid
Thunderbolts
movies.
Legitimately my favorite one in a long time. Sorry.
Just recently as well, Wonder Man I thought was brilliant.
Wonder Man was awesome. Yeah,
You know what it is? It's like the same thing that I used to argue about, and I'm kind of doing it now. The thing I used to argue against, which is that people would see the Marvel Studio, the MCU, as like just a franchise when it's actually a literal studio. And what studio do you know historically that has put out nothing but bangers all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen. And
so
it's revisionist history as well, because even in the beginning they weren't putting out banger after banger. I mean, we had Incredible Hulk.
Incredible
was the
Hulk,
second
the first
film.
Thor.
True. Yeah,
Iron Man 2.
We had an embarrassment of riches, and it's like we became spoiled to a degree. And like another thing that is, you know, I did a stream months back where I was like, here's why I'm not excited about Doomsday. And it had nothing to do with the Doomsday itself, really. It was about the state of things, where I'm just like, it's hard for me to get in that mindset that I used to get into, where it's like, I'm looking forward to this more than anything. You know what I mean? And now I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to see it. I'm excited to see it even. I hope it's very good. It might be very good. But like, man, when when you're just all the suffering that's fucking happening and not knowing if we're going to even be able to right the ship, it makes me, you know, a little bit bummed, and it makes it harder to escape like that. You know?
I was just gonna say, bring it to a bit more superficial level. That first teaser they released for Doomsday, just with Steve Rogers, I'm like, not exciting me. I love Steve Rogers. I don't need more.
It's because I've talked about the channel before a few times, kind of culty. If any of you ever watched that, if you're into like kind of not necessarily spoilers for sure, but some very, very educated you know, speculation that he's been right about quite a bit. So if you don't want any of that, don't watch it. But otherwise, he's very, very good. I don't usually like channels content like that, but he's so fucking good at this that I like it. And some of the stuff he's been talking about lately about what he's seeing is probably going to happen in Doomsday and Secret Wars has me pretty hyped. Because multiversal Avengers with talking about Toby and Hugh and Deadpool and whatnot. It's like that fuck, they got me. I don't want to be a sucker for that, but I kind of am a sucker for that.
Yeah. Yeah, Daredevil's been quite good. And Chris, I'll go ahead and say you are naming some of the better aspects of Iron Man 2. I like Mickey Rourke's performance as well.
For sure.
It's just
and fucking what's his name?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, thank you.
Yeah. I also love Don Cheadle taking over the War Machine role. I think he's great in it.
I think that also this one guy did a good job portraying someone who's actually like a brilliant person. Elon Musk in that movie. It's a pretty good acting role.
Hell of an acting job. Who would have thought?
Considering he's a fucking moron. Fury. Yeah,
that would be hilarious Easter egg to stick in there. Oh god damn it! I think we're both trying to share it. Here, I'm not touching it. There we go.
Yeah, they did that. I mean, the only reason they wouldn't though is because most people would be like, "What? Really? What's Hasselhoff doing here?" But
I mean, they obviously need to bring in Matt Fior from the Generation X movie too.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just deep cuts.
Whoever the lady that played White Queen was in that.
Oh yeah, God, I don't remember her name, but I can visualize her. Jesus.
I want my bed.
Get your
all I want to see is Rex Smith come back as Daredevil.
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah.
John Rhys Davies as Kingpin. Come on, guys.
A blind Kingpin.
Ooh.
Wait, did that happen?
Was he blind in that movie? I haven't seen the movie.
Weird.
The trial of the Incredible Hulk. What is wrong?
I've seen it as a kid. Like I remember very specific scenes of Daredevil and stuff, but I don't remember. I don't remember the Kingpin about it at all. And
the big reveal at the end is that Kingpin is also blind as well as Matt Murdock. And so,
and how does that affect anything? As it seems kind of
that seems weird.
It doesn't really. But he does escape on a flying hovercraft boat at the end. So
okay.
I will say I was planning on getting to those movies, but I did this years ago. I just started watching The Incredible Hulk from the beginning. And honestly, it's not a terrible show. But I got 2 seasons into it, and the issue was it's just fucking redundant. Every story is kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
Bill Bixby's amazing in it, by the way.
The problem with a lot of those shows where it's a guy travels from place to place, like Knight Rider and The Fugitive and the A-Team even, is that you have to watch them weekly, really, because otherwise it's the same plot every week. Bill Bixby gets into trouble. The Hulk, he turns into the Hulk, smashes some stuff up, goes on to the next.
More trouble.
That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's You're right. That's not really made for binging. Those kind of shows. It's become the strings, the puppetry of the whole thing. The template becomes very clear very fast.
But those older versions are the better versions because everything's woke now. So
true.
Don't forget that.
And apparently, I mean, Bob the Old Ways is hitting it on here. I get frustrated with how the Chuds cast Sydney Sweeney in fucking everything. It's like you guys have no idea.
And then they don't go see her movies.
Yeah.
To the point where she actually had to eventually renounce racism, but when she realized that it was affecting her, that nobody was coming to see her shit, that not even they were supporting her. Oh shit, the racists aren't.
She was maybe if you appeal for a MAGA audience, those people won't really be excited to go see your lesbian boxer movie. I know, wild, right? I know.
Yeah, there's literally no other actors with boobs that can properly portray her.
There's no other attractive women actresses.
Speaking of superheroes with boobs, or super villains, maybe Malice is back in the Fantastic Four comics. I haven't read that yet, but I keep seeing it. I'm like, oh shit, it's Malice. That's you guys that know,
That's a deep cut. I haven't read about Malice in a long ass time.
Well, I mean, it depends on what, because there's like several characters in Marvel history that went by Malice, but I'm talking about the Invisible Woman's bad side one that wore the
Okay, that's what I was
outfit.
assuming, but yeah.
Let's see if I find it.
I assumed it
yes.
was. Yeah, that I can't imagine that costume working in live action somehow.
Well, it would if Sydney Sweeney was cast.
Right. Oh my God, the fan art of Malice is on. Oh my fuck, Christ! Jesus.
Yeah.
Why? Why did I do this?
Yeah, that's a good point from the chat. They brought Malice back because of the Marvel Rivals skin, which
true.
That must be making so much money for Disney.
Yeah, and it has, and it is. I guess going to be a way that they. And I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Like if there's something that gets popular or whatever on that game that I still have yet to play, even though I downloaded it, got it, stuff. And then that causes them to go, hey, a writer that's writing this title, you should implement this thing. That's I don't think that's necessarily inherently a bad thing. You know, it's what's done with it. Yeah, because I've seen some people complaining about how Marvel Rivals is now leading the editorial of Marvel or whatever.
Well, they kind of did the same thing with the films as well. So it's no surprise, but
here we go. Well, here we go. I was already showing it.
Yeah, I already found it.
Well, that's that one. That's the Marvel Rivals one. I found.
Yeah, it's the Marvel Rivals skin.
Where is it? Here we go. Oh, got to get rid of yours first.
Oh yeah, because
there she is.
There's the classic. There.
That's what's up right there. And on those boobs, I'm gonna get out of here anyway. You guys can hang out if you want.
Yeah.
Go think about boobs.
Boobs. Podcast will be this Tuesday. Covering the original Mortal Kombat, covering the original Star Wars, and then covering the new Mummy movie. Should be fun. I just
you mean the one with Tom Cruise?
No, the brand new one. The Tom Cruise one is dreadful. I can't even think of something funny to say. It's terrible. And
well, yeah, it's good chatting with y'all again.
Yeah.
You know, we I don't know that if we're gonna be back for sure next week or what. This was kind of impromptu to a degree. Like I've been thinking that I would want to do one again, but I cannot and will not. Well, I can. I just don't want to commit to doing every week yet. Because I've been enjoying the time off and not thinking about chuds. So,
and I'm working 6 days a week right now, so I'm kind of tired, but
word.
Yeah, I'll pop in when I can.
I am, however, working, just plugging away at the new thing. The Modern Audience is the name of the channel. You can please subscribe to it at the Official Modern Audience on YouTube. We have a podcast that we're working on backlogging several episodes before we really launch it officially, called On Your Left. And we might do some research streams. We're kind of tossing that around earlier. So maybe tomorrow night or something. Wait, no, Friday night might do a research stream, maybe Saturday, something like that. And if that's the case, we will be researching ethno-states and how the Krakoan era of X-Men, and how that relates. And that's generally how the podcast is. That's the premise is we look at a media thing and then go, well, what's the real world thing? And let's dive into both and kind of how they relate. And that's going to be a fun one. Because it's going to be pretty much focused on Israel. Yikes.
Ooh, that's always fun.
Yeah. So we're getting all of our qualifiers of like we're talking about the government here and all that stuff ready. We got to make sure we say all that stuff because we're not talking about the people, or any kind of inherent thing about these. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole campaign of wanting to. Mix up the two terms of Israeli government and just Jews. Some people seem to not be able to distinguish those two things, and
that gets frustrating.
And what's frustrating is there's people that ostensibly are on the left that do that kind of thing, and fuck them, because that only helps the ones on the right that actually do hate those people. Yeah, so we're gonna have fun with that, but it's gonna be fun. I was looking at some stuff about Krakoa, and there's lots of great stuff. I had no idea so many great write-ups have been done about Krakoa, X-Men, and Israel, and how they're comparisons and stuff. And there's a lot more to dive in than I even expected. But it's also going to be partly like kind of reevaluating my experience with the Krakoa and X-Men, which is one of really my favorite era of comics ever, but I've come to see it in a different way since it ended. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be heartbreaking, and it'll be great.
I'm sorry.
With that in mind,
we do have a troll in chat. I just kind of.
What are they saying?
Are you afraid to engage with Melanie Mack?
Oh, that's just that fucking person again. That's the same fucking moron that
it's so stupid.
That's the one that like as soon as we're like Jesus
Wait,
Christ.
do we only talk about Melanie Mack, or do we only talk about Eric July? Holy shit, bro. These people are
never
so
said anything really that's worth engaging with other than to say how stupid it is and quickly debunk it. She's to
Well, I'd be quite happy to engage with what she said in those videos that I think you had a while back, where she said we should accept everybody regardless of.
Let me pull that up. Actually, I got that.
I mean, heck, I've asked her to debate me when she popped up in my fucking comments. I don't know what else you want. Well, no.
Yeah, we have challenged essentially all these motherfuckers, and they just don't want to talk. Yeah, here we go. Got this one. Yeah, here we go. There's a good one for you on factual facts. Here's a factual video that happened.
Jesus has taught and what Jesus would be like, and that's not to judge people, and that's to have grace toward people and to love people, and that's where I'm at.
If you can hear that again, we can play it again. But I also have another one.
There's the jump scare one, which is wild.
The jump scare one?
Yeah. Where she's essentially doing a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, happy to engage with what she said there, though.
Yeah. That was based. That was reasonable.
Is he replying yet?
Oh, yes.
It appears nothing but media has made so many videos about anti-gay things against the gays.
What? Oh, so you're just like actually just saying nonsense. That's fun.
Well, I mean, I guess he's a Melanie Mack fan, so like an idiot.
Christ almighty. Anyway. What else? Anybody you promote your channel? Right?
Oh yeah. Nothing but media. What you got going on?
Yeah, just business as usual for me. So I'm churning out my weekly Rockford reviews. Turns out it's probably the most progressive left-wing show from the 70s. Certainly in the US. So that's a surprise.
Yeah. Do you do like once you complete a season or something, do you do like a season kind of review at all?
I do a short season review, but once I've finished completely, then I'll do a little I'm planning to do a 30-minute documentary that just covers the whole show. So that's the one.
Definitely watch that one for sure. But I might
that's
a couple of episodes. If you have any episodes that you've covered in particular you think it would be really, really interesting to dig into, then we'll do that.
Yeah, the biggest one is probably the house on Willis Avenue, because that's all about tech companies spying on us using computer generated algorithms.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
What a fantasy.
Well, it was kind of fantasy in back in 1977 when they made it, but it's eerily prescient about what's going on in that one.
So is this.
Visuals, features, and all the farming simulation you could ever dream of. And now you have the option for same-sex marriage too. So that's new and really cool. And now I don't have to play as a dude to marry my favorite suitor, and
All right. And on the way out,
Good
we got
for
Dwayne McDuffie. Hope you folks have a lovely remainder of your week and take care of yourselves and one another. And, don't engage with chuds and unsubscribe to them and stuff like that.
Party on and be excellent to each other.
Somebody, I think the artist did a pinup with all the black characters, and somebody leaked it and said, that's the cover. McDuffie's going to turn the Justice League all black. He's getting rid of the white guys. Never a plan, never even considered, but it freaked people out, so they're reading the stuff looking for proof. But there is a hardcore piece of the audience whose back goes up whenever you go into these issues, and they don't even realize it. And what kills me about it is when they're writing about it, they're always hyper-rational. Look, the fact is there are more white characters, and if you picked randomly, you would end up with all white teams. And the fact that there are 3 black people on this team is statistically ridiculous. I mean, it's obviously a quota. And the quota arguments on fictional teams crack me up. Because who's actually, I'm sorry, somebody losing a job here? Which fictional character is losing a job? There's no connection. They're not talking about what's going on in the comic books. They're talking about what they think is going on in their lives, and that's not really going on either.